Hello, friends. Welcome to Dream to Done, the podcast for moms who are ready to discover their dreams and goals again and actually do them. If you've been feeling a little lost in motherhood, I'm here to get you off the back burner and start taking a turn for yourself. I'm your host, Jessica Erickson, a certified life coach and your accountability cheerleader. Each week, you'll hear tips and tricks on doing life with a few kids, interviews with inspiring guests, and real talk on momming. I want you to discover your dreams, even in the messy middle of motherhood, because you deserve happiness too. You will also see that a mom achieving her goals and dreams lifts those around her. You deserve to take a turn in your life without feeling guilty. I am always cheering for you. Here we go. Hi, I'm Jessica Erickson, your host for the Dream to Done podcast. Today, we're going to talk about manifesting, and I'm really excited about it. Manifesting is so phenomenal, and it's basically partnering with the universe, letting the universe know what you want, and letting it come to you. The question I often get is, what if I don't know who can help me? If you listened to last week's episode, in episode 3, one of my top tips is to get help. You do not need to feel like you need to do everything on your own. But then the question is, what if I don't know who can help me? Well, that's when we're going to start getting the universe involved to help. And you're going to put it out there and see what comes back to you. This is how we are going to manifest. So number 1, we're going to get really clear on what you want. We're going to use all 5 senses. So sight, this is why your vision board is so important. If you can see it, that's one way that you can start to get this positive vibe going in your life for this thing that you want. So seeing it is great. Smelling it. What would it smell like to actually have this goal or this dream? What would I hear? What would I taste? What would I touch? What would I feel? I'll give you some examples in a minute. We want to keep the words positive. So instead of saying something like, I don't want clutter in my life. Okay, well, if you don't want clutter, what do you want? So I do want to be clean and organized. So we got to keep the words positive. So instead of, I want to stop yelling at my kids, well, what do you want? I want to have a great relationship with my kids. Step 3 is we're going to forget the timeline. Sometimes we're going to put something out there on a vision board for a year. That's what I usually do, is a year-long vision board. But what happens if it happens the next year? That's great. Doesn't really matter. Sometimes the universe will push us a little bit, make us wait a little bit longer for that goal, develop some patience. Sometimes, once you know what you want, it falls in your lap. So forget about the timeline, let it come sooner or later, doesn't matter. I do like having a time goal, but we're flexible with it. The goal is always to motivate us and never to beat ourselves up. Number 4, I want you to be open. Sometimes we know what the end is, but we don't know how we're going to get there. That's okay. Sometimes we know what the end is, but we're not quite sure what comes after that. That's okay too. If there's something on your heart that you want, put it out there and then see what happens. Why does this work? Okay, are you ready for it? Whatever you do, do not think about a yellow car. What are you thinking about? You're thinking about a yellow car. So whatever you're looking for, you are going to find. Positive or negative, you're going to find it. Have your kids played this game where they call yellow car touch? So whoever sees the yellow car says, yellow car touch, and then punches the other kid. I mean, don't encourage the punching, but you will now start looking for yellow cars and you will see them far more frequently. This happened last time I was trying to buy a new car. Our car was getting to that point where we were like, we should probably start deciding if we want to upgrade or stay the same or what we want to do with the car. So I knew we were going to be looking for a van. So every van on the freeway, I was like, oh, there's a van. Oh, there's a van. There's a van. I wonder, I like that color. Ooh, that seems like a great feature. But they started popping up all the time. Whatever you're looking for, it's going to start showing up. Guess what? I don't really see vans anymore. Now I'm seeing yellow cars because that's what my kids are saying. But anyway, whatever it is, you are going to start looking for it. So we want to make sure that that's positive. Okay, here's my fun examples. Number one is the home organizer. So I decided that I really, really wanted to get my photography business organized and luxury. So, in part of that process, I wanted my office to look luxurious and organized and like a Pinterest board. I wanted it to feel really high class. I wanted to know where everything was. I wanted to sit in soft, comfy chairs. And I wanted it to smell like a spa or like Bath and Body Works when you first walk in. I got really clear on what I wanted. So again, we're going to keep it positive. So I did not say I want it to stop being cluttered. I want to stop buying the second thing because I couldn't find one that I'd already purchased and had somewhere in my house, but I didn't know where it was. No, we're going to go positive. So I want to feel organized. I want to know where everything is. Okay, keep it positive. Now, forget the timeline. This is the great example where I put it on the vision board for 2023. I put it on there. I ordered it. I had the order off to the printer. It was off in La La Land. It hadn't even gotten here yet. And my son had a birthday party to go to. So this was us just living our life. Took my son to a birthday party at a miniature golf arcade kind of place. So we go to a charter school. So a lot of times it's not neighborhood kids, but people in surrounding cities that all go to this school. So I didn't know the moms that were there. This was kind of a newer school year, hadn't really gotten to know all of his classmates or parents yet. Still developing friendships. So we go to this party and I'm like, okay, go get out of your comfort zone, go meet people, introduce yourself to people. So the first mom that I saw, I said, hi, I'm Jessica. What's your name? She said, I'm Erin. And I said, hey, Erin, what do you do? And she said, oh, I'm a home organizer. I kind of died laughing a little bit. And I was like, really? You don't say. I just put that on my vision board that I needed one. And she was like, oh, great. And I was like, can I please have your card? She was like, here you go. Give me a call. So we had the rest of the birthday party. She seemed pretty nice. She ended up coming over for a consultation a couple weeks later. She was like, here's what I can do for you. We can organize this area. I have these ideas. This is what I envision for you. Awesome. So we did it. We organized the office and the garage. Now, I will tell you, I think personally, you can judge me if you want, but I think it looks like Pinterest board. I think it feels luxurious and organized. I know 100% where everything is. I do have some soft, comfy chairs. And I even have a soft, comfy chair for the hair and makeup artist when she would come for them to sit in that she could pump up and down so that she could get their hair and makeup done well. And I got a little diffuser thing so that it smelled really good, like eucalyptus in hair. So I had lots of really fun stuff and it felt amazing. And I felt 100% confident checking that one off my list. So all of the newborn outfits were in one area. All of the maternity dresses were in an area. All of the baby wraps were in one organized area. The garage looked fantastic. I could walk around in the garage and point to everything and tell you where everything was. The hats and crowns and everything were in one spot. Now, with the garage, I also thought it'd be really cool to organize our bikes. So we got the bikes all up on the walls and organized, and that felt great. So now instead of my kids trying to find their bike, it was easy to find their bike, easy to go for a bike ride. So I had so much fun, which seemed crazy because it seemed like this big, daunting task. I had so much fun with this and so much fun with Erin that I was like, I don't want this to end. I know our project is done, but can we get a new project? How about come and help me with the pantry? And she was like, yes, I love it. So we organized my pantry. And I said, how about the craft cupboard? We organized the craft cupboard. And then we did my closet in my room. So it just felt amazing. And I 100% feel like we got it done and it is awesome. Okay. The next example I wanted to give you was airline tickets. Now, I have debated going back and forth about telling you the numbers or not, and I decided not to because I don't want you to focus on the numbers. I just want you to focus on the experience. So, we had a bunch of reasons that we wanted to fly first class or business class, whichever you want to call it. For me, I'm going to say it's first class. So, if you're a flight snob and want to judge me for that, go ahead. But we wanted those little pods where you could lay down and actually sleep. And my husband is super anxious about flying. And so he almost didn't want to go on this trip because he knew we were going to be flying over a large body of water. And that scared him. So we were like, well, what if we give you a sleeping pill and you're knocked out the whole time? And he's like, that sounds like the only way I'm going to make it. So we debated going back and forth. Maybe I could go in first class with our toddler. And so she could get some sleep and I could get some sleep and he could be back with the other kids. And that didn't sound or feel right. And then we thought about maybe him just going first class, but then I didn't want to be stuck in not first class with all of the other kids. So it just, for us, made sense and felt right for all of us to stay together and go in first class. So I knew that that was going to be expensive. We'd never done this before. And so I had a price that I was thinking. And when we first logged in, the tickets that we thought we needed were 2.5 times what we were thinking. And we were like, whoa, oh, sticker shock. Okay, well, maybe that won't happen. And we looked and looked and looked, and all of them were about the same price. And so my husband was like, well, there goes your dream. We're not doing it. And he had to go change a diaper. And I almost gave up. But I looked on the wall and there was my vision board and it had going to England traveling first class. And I was like, no, I can do this. I am going to find it. It's going to be here. And so having that on my vision board, had this added layer of determination. So I kept looking. And what I found was that the flights from the US based company were more expensive than the ones where if I searched for a British based company. And I also found that there was a flight where it was first class from California to Washington, Washington to London, first class from London to Washington, but then second class from Washington to California. Guess what? That one was about $2 or $3 under my budget for each ticket, and we were able to get it. Now, here's the kicker. Are you ready? We knew we had a tax return coming, but we didn't really know how much it was going to be because we'd had some changes. So we were getting ready to go to Costco, and my husband was like, this is stupid. I can't believe you spent this money. Anyway, he was like really grumbly about it. And I was like, no, we have the tax return coming. This is all going to work out. And he's like, I don't think our tax return is going to cover this. And I was like, okay. While he's getting ready, I get a call from my mom who works for the accountant. And she says, oh, guess what? I know how much you're going to get for your tax return, and it's going to be this amount, which was like $200 above what I just spent on the tickets. So it ended up being a wash, and I got to travel in the cute little pods to go to London. So if you're on video, you can see pictures. If not, then I'm going to explain it to you. So we got to go in these cute little pods, and everybody had their own little like toothpaste and toothbrush and a little changing shirt, like pajamas. And they got really great food and a really great dessert that they're still talking about. And everybody got to go to sleep. And they actually slept so that when we hit the ground in London, we actually hit the ground running. It was great. So I felt like it was a fantastic trip and well worth our money. Now, I love to talk about collateral blessings. So things that came from me going for these goals. With the home organizer, I had no idea that I was going to get a new best friend. I genuinely love Erin. She is fantastic. She's a great human being. She is fantastic at her job, and it's just awesome. She also knows everything going on at the school, so she was a super great resource for me. And I just love hanging out with her. So great collateral blessing of getting a new best friend. Now, with the flight, maybe everyone in the world knew this but me, but I did not know that when you travel first class, you get access to these cool lounges at the airport. They have food, and one of them had like 3 different kinds of ice cream. And it's like this cool, comfy, cush place where you get to hang out before your flight. We loved it. It was so fun. My kids had the best time hanging out at the airport, which hanging out at the airport is usually kind of not fun, but that made hanging out at the airport fun. And so we had a really fun thing that we weren't expecting happen. Now, the other added thing was that we ended up getting sick on the way home. And I will spare you the details, but let me just say that it was so nice to be able to lay down on the way home. And then we had, a little bit of extra service in that higher class. So it was much more comfortable to be sick on the way home. So those were our collateral blessings from these 2 experiences. Now, I want to know, what about you? What do you want to manifest in your life right now? What's something that's on your heart? What's something that you've been thinking about? Maybe it's been on your mind for a couple of years. I don't know. What is it? If you can, I'd love for you to put your hand on your heart. Close your eyes if you're not driving, and take a deep breath. What would make your life a little bit easier right now? What would make your days more fun? What is it that you need? It can be something that you think is selfish. It can be something that is a secret. Maybe only you and the universe know. It can be something other people think is totally crazy. And that's okay. If you truly want it, I believe deep down there's a reason that you want it. And that is going to make your life better. So, what do you want? Let's brainstorm some ideas. Maybe you want to write a book, take a trip, get healthy, get organized, make more money, have more time, start a business, take a class. Maybe you just want to have a little bit more space for you in your life. I have found that having a vision board makes manifesting so much easier for me. Being able to be really clear about what I want makes it easier to invite those things into my life. Now, back to that timing. Sometimes things take longer. Sometimes it takes 2 years to get something you thought you could achieve in 1. Or maybe it drops in your lap tomorrow, but you'll never know if you don't start asking for it. I would love to know what you want to manifest. Feel free to send me a DM or an email. Let me know. And how can I help you with that? If you need a vision board, I have a done for you vision board option that I would love to help you with. I am very excited to see you next week at our new episode. Have a great day. You've got this. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Dream to Done. If you enjoyed today's episode, it would mean so much if you would leave a rating and review. It helps more moms like you find the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast player. I'll see you in next week's episode. I'm always cheering for you. See you next week.